They tried not to want you, but it's getting worse. And if that sentence instantly felt true, it's because you've been noticing the pattern. They act like they're above it, like they're unaffected, like they can keep things normal, but something keeps pulling them back to you. Their attention slips. Their timing is too perfect. Their distance feels less like disinterest and more like a person gripping the edge of something they don't trust themselves to fall into. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll understand what's happening underneath their mixed signals, what they're fighting inside themselves, and the one private sign that proves their resistance is breaking. You've probably been carrying a quiet question you don't say out loud. If they don't want me, why do they keep hovering? And under that, if they do want me, why won't they just admit it? Because the confusion isn't just annoying, it can mess with your confidence. One moment you feel chosen, the next moment you feel ignored. One moment the energy is intense, the next moment they disappear. And you've tried to be logical about it, but your intuition keeps whispering the same thing. This isn't over. Something is still active here. Not because you're obsessing, but because you can feel when someone is emotionally involved, even when they pretend they aren't. Here's the truth most people miss. When someone tries not to want you, it's usually not because the attraction is weak. It's because the attraction is inconvenient. It threatens their control, their pride, their current situation, or the image they have of themselves. They want to stay the person who doesn't get attached. They want to stay the person who can walk away first. They want to stay safe. But then you show up and you don't fit into their old rules. You make them feel something they can't neatly file away. And that's when the internal conflict begins. Desire pulling them forward, fear yanking them back. At first, their resistance can look like emotional distance, short replies, busy energy, avoiding deeper conversations, acting friendly but not intimate. But if you pay attention, the distance has tension in it. It's not peaceful distance. It's not clean detachment. It's like they're nearby on purpose, just not close enough to be exposed. They watch you in a room and then pretend they weren't. They remember small details and then act like it means nothing. They ask questions they don't need to ask and then disappear before it can become a real conversation. Those are leaks. And leaks happen when the emotion is stronger than the mask. Now here's what I want you to look for, because it's the first major mini payoff. Their behavior isn't random, it's rhythmic. They come close when they miss you. They pull away when it starts feeling real. They pop up when you detach. They go quiet when they feel too seen. That rhythm is a signature of someone trying to manage craving. And the reason it's getting worse lately is because time doesn't always cool feelings down. Sometimes time ferments them. Especially when there's unfinished energy, unspoken truth, and too many moments they keep replaying in their head. Let's talk about what worse actually looks like, because it's not always dramatic. It's subtle, then it becomes undeniable. First, they start thinking about you in places they didn't expect, during ordinary moments. A song, a place, a random phrase someone says that sounds like you. And then it escalates. They start noticing your absence like a physical thing. They wonder what you're doing. They check if you're online. They compare other people to you. They feel irritated when you're fine without them. They feel relief when you respond. That's not casual attraction anymore. That's attachment trying to pretend it's not attachment. Picture them late at night, because this is where self-control gets tested. The world gets quiet, and suddenly there's space for you to show up in their mind. They pick up their phone, scroll without really scrolling, and then they end up where they always end up. Your name, your profile, your last message. They tell themselves, don't text. Don't give them that power. They type something anyway. They delete it. They stare at the screen like the screen is the only thing standing between them and vulnerability. They put the phone down. 5 minutes later, they pick it up again. That cycle is the sound of their resistance cracking. It's not romantic fantasy. It's a real behavioral loop people get trapped in when they want someone, but don't want to admit they want them. And the contrast is what makes you feel crazy sometimes. On the outside, they can look calm. On the outside, they can look indifferent. On the outside, they can act like they've moved on. But internally, they're not calm. Internally, they're negotiating. Should I reach out? No. Stay quiet. But what if they're moving on? But what if they reject me? But what if I already waited too long? That's why they can be warm one day and cold the next. It's not that the feeling disappears overnight. It's that fear wins some days and desire wins other days. Their sign it's getting worse is how they react when you shift your energy. If you become quieter, they notice. If you stop initiating, they notice. If you stop explaining yourself, they notice. They might not say anything directly, but they'll start hovering around your space in small ways, viewing your story fast, liking something after being silent, sending a random message that doesn't require emotional honesty, because your detachment triggers something in them that they hate, the realization that you are not guaranteed. And when someone realizes you're not guaranteed, their feelings stop feeling optional They start feeling urgent. Here's a micro scene that reveals more than words ever will. You're in a group setting. You're laughing with someone else, not flirting, just existing, just being bright. And you glance over and catch them watching. Their face is controlled, but their eyes aren't. Their eyes look like a question they don't want to ask. You catch them, and they look away too fast, like they got caught caring. Later, they act slightly different with you. A little colder, a little sharper, or suddenly very busy. That shift is not maturity or indifference. That shift is emotion trying to hide behind behavior. Now ask the deeper question, why don't they just go for it if it's getting worse? Because wanting you means risking something. It might mean risking rejection. It might mean risking their pride. It might mean risking being seen as vulnerable. And for some people, vulnerability feels like danger, not closeness. They'd rather suffer privately than risk being exposed publicly. They'd rather keep you in a gray zone than face a clear yes or no. That's why they resist, not because they don't want you, because they want you enough that the outcome matters. And here's a big revelation that flips the meaning of their distance. Sometimes they pull away because they can't trust themselves around you. Not in a negative way, more like they can't trust their own emotions. They're afraid that if they get too close, they'll lose control and reveal how deep this is. They're afraid they'll say something they can't take back. They're afraid you'll see how much power you have over their mood. So they try to limit exposure. They try to keep interactions short. They try to keep it safe. But the irony is that the more they try to keep it safe, the more their mind obsesses, because unexpressed emotion doesn't disappear. It builds pressure. When it gets worse, their behavior starts showing more cracks. They become inconsistent in a new way, not just distant, but oddly attentive at specific times. They show up when you least expect it. They message you when you post something that looks like you're moving on. They ask how you're doing when they don't really have a reason to. They bring up a memory as if it's casual, but it's a memory they clearly held on to. They test the waters with small risks, an extra compliment, a deeper question, a softer tone, and then they watch your reaction closely. They're looking for safety. They're looking for permission. They're looking for a sign that they won't be humiliated if they admit what they feel. And the worst part isn't only about wanting you more. It's also about fearing you more. Because if they want you more, they have more to lose. They have more to be rejected for. They have more to be exposed for. That's why you might feel them approach and retreat. Approach and retreat. This is the desire versus fear engine playing out in real time. They crave closeness, but they fear what closeness will demand from them. Consistency, honesty, accountability, emotional presence. And if they've never been good at those things, being drawn to you becomes a problem they can't solve with their usual tricks. So, what might they do next if it keeps getting worse? Well, usually one of two things. They either intensify quietly, more watch, more checking, more hovering, more accidental contact, or they break and reveal something. Sometimes it's a confession. Sometimes it's an apology. Sometimes it's a sudden attempt to get closer, like inviting you somewhere, asking to see you, starting conversations they used to avoid. But even then, they might try to keep it casual on the surface. They might pretend it's no big deal. Because admitting it's a big deal would mean admitting you changed them. And they don't want you to know how much influence you have. Now let's bring it back to you, because this is where your power lives. You do not have to chase someone who is fighting themselves. You don't have to audition for honesty. If they tried not to want you and it's getting worse, the truth will eventually show up in action, not just in energy. Watch what they do over time. Do they become more consistent? Do they respect you? Do they communicate more clearly? Do they repair when they disappear? Or do they keep you in a loop where you get intensity without security? Because intensity can feel like love, but security is what love becomes when it's mature. Here's the emotional payoff you've probably been needing. You weren't imagining the pull. You weren't imagining the shift. You weren't crazy for sensing that their resistance was about emotion, not absence. The reason their behavior has felt so strange is because they're trying to hold back something that's growing. And the more you stop chasing, the more you choose your peace, the more obvious their attachment becomes, because your absence hits them harder than your presence ever did. That's why they keep circling. That's why they keep coming back to your energy, because a part of them already knows this connection marked them. And the meaning of that isn't wait forever. The meaning is stop doubting your perception. You can acknowledge that they want you without making it your job to fix their fear. You can accept that the feelings are real without letting the confusion consume your life. You can keep your heart open and your standards high at the same time. Because the right person won't only want you in secret. They'll choose you in reality. They'll let the wanting turn into action. They'll let the craving turn into commitment. If this message reached something you've been quietly feeling, stay connected to this space. And if you want to anchor your energy right now, comment one word, steady. Not as a signal to them, as a promise to yourself that you won't chase what's meant to meet you full. Because the moment you become steady, people who are fighting themselves either rise into clarity or they fall away. Either way, you stop living in question marks and you start living in truth.
Okay, somebody is very curious to know more about who you are. This is somebody who's like very new. I'm getting new energy. Very, very interested in learning and discovering more about you. Also, I'm getting like King of Wands energy from this person. So very, very warm, very open, very kind, very generous. I'm getting a very generous energy, like more generous than I feel like in the past you've been with people who were very like breadcrumby or like very stingy. Like specifically tipping comes to mind, and like this person is a big tipper, and like they do it genuinely out of the kindness of their heart. Like they want to see people around them cared for. Animal lover is also coming through. This is also somebody who, like, if you have kids or want kids, like this person definitely wants kids or would be very like happy to care for kids. Like they're just very like, this person is going to make an incredible father is what's coming through. And that's something that you are going to be able to pick up on right away upon meeting this person, or like within the first date or like first, phase of talking to this person. You're just going to be able to recognize that, like, oh, this is somebody that you would definitely want to have kids with. Like, this is somebody who you could see being such a calm and strong presence for family. So we're going to dive in a little bit to discover more about what this connection is bringing to the table for you, because I feel like this person is like setting out a table and setting you on the table. Like there's a lot of sexual chemistry with you and this person. So that's going to be something that you notice right off the bat too. Let's dive in, angels. God, what can you tell us about stuff? Oh, I just got chills. That scared me. King of Wands, what did I say? And the Lovers. Like, are you joking? That gave me chills and scared me at the same time. What the heck? And you know what? The Five of Swords, I feel like this was coming, like this came into your life at a time where you were over it. Like you might not even have wanted it. That, or you were just like, you were ready to fight this person. Like, you know what? This person might actually find it adorable when you're in like fight mode. You're like, fight me, and like trying to poke and prod the bear, but this person isn't the bear. It's the king of the bears. This king controls the bears. This king, like they're just very in control. But they have a lot of, again, that sexual energy is coming through. Like they channel that a lot. Like they're very fun and like playful with it. Like it's very classy. It's giving class, high class individual. But I'm sorry, are you kidding me? The King of Wands and the Lovers coming out as confirmation. You might have just found your match. I'm hearing they definitely have a thing for you. Like there's a spark between the two of you. There's something that has taken place. This definitely, so this came out first, this Five of Swords energy, where it's like, maybe you don't see it yet. Maybe you're still kind of like recovering from something, or yeah, Five of Cups on the bottom. That, or you're just really focused on yourself. You're really focused on your career at this time when this comes in. But the King of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands, yeah, they have their eyes set on you. They also, this person is a giver. Like that keeps coming through. They are such a giver. They want to give to you. Like they want to provide for you. Like they see the lifestyle that you live. And this person is very wise with their words. Like they don't say a whole lot, but when they do, it carries weight. But they see the lifestyle that you live, but more importantly, that you deserve to live, like a lifestyle that they want to provide for you. And they're like, oh, like I'm going to become this person for them. They want to rise into their power for you because they want to support your lightness. They want you to be able to let go of some of the weight that you've been carrying, or just like they want to be the supporting role in your life that allows you to really be free. I'm just hearing like financial freedom and freedom of time and freedom of expression too. Like this person really knows how to witness you. And by that I mean they don't detach, they don't attach, they're just simply there. Like very strong, very sturdy, very rich, and not just physically, but like rich in their presence, rich where it matters, in their heart, in their mind, in their willingness to learn and grow and evolve together. So with the Eight of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, this is promising. This is very promising energy. The Six of Cups is very childlike innocence, so you might find yourself playing a lot, imagining a lot. Like you could go on this whole adventure. Like maybe you see these couple trends on social media and you're like, oh, I wish like that would be so fun to do. This person would be on board for that. 100% they would be on board. In the Three of Cups, this also feels very karmic, but not in like a negative fashion. This feels karmic as in like you're receiving everything that you've ever poured into somebody in love, everything that you've ever given is being returned to you in this love. That's what it feels like, a return of investment. And it, oh my God, this is crazy because you are somebody who, like, God has always placed people in your path that needed your love at that time in their life. And with every love, with every heartbreak that you ever experienced, like you grew, you evolved, you became wiser, more beautiful, stronger, smarter, softer, which is like the crazy part. You became softer after every love, and also very patient, like just less and less attached to the idea of being in love with somebody and more secure with being in love with yourself, with every love connection that you experienced. And so with this love, it just feels like, oh, you're just going to pour into each other, but this person is going to pour into you all of the love that you have ever given to this universe, given to the world, given to people who needed it most, because God called you to that connection for a reason. God called you to cross paths with that person. And now this person is like the person of all persons, is what I'm hearing. And so when they come in, they are coming in with a vengeance, not against you, against every person who ever hurt you, every person who ever doubted you, every person who ever fumbled you. This person is coming in with a vengeance of like mine, like, oh, like they are not letting you out of their sight, but not in like the scary possessive kind of way, more just in like they know exactly what they have when they have it. Yeah, they're not messing around when it comes to you. They know exactly what they have. When they have it, they have you. They're not giving that up. No, and it's not like okay, that song, that trend, Walk 'em Like a Dog, is coming through, and I just heard the message of like, you kind of get to train this one, but not in a manipulative way, more just as in you get to speak what you desire. You get to tell them what you like and what you don't like, and you're not asking them to do it. You're just letting them know who you are. You're letting them know where your boundary stands. And this person, they receive those boundaries. They're like, yes, please tell me more. Like, give me more to work with. I want to know how to love you. I want to know how to care for you. And every time that you speak what you love and what you don't love, what you accept, what you don't accept, every time you allow your emotions, your real emotions, your raw emotions, anger, sadness, fear, angst, whatever it is, anxiety, like, oh,